Welcome to diorama update number 46. Here's the main things we're going to be talking about today. First, we got Kursk, the Kursk diorama you saw in the back there. Gaming footage, the Sicily diorama, and then the podcast / Discord that I'm a part of. I'm going to talk about that again. So, first let's get into Kursk. So here's what I've got so far, guys. A lot of progress has been made, especially since the amount of time I've put into it. It's not very much. I've made a good dent in what I wanted to do. So basically, it's not done. Obviously, it's not done. This is just kind of set up to show you all the layout of what I want to do. So basically, what we got here is a German anti-tank gun flank position, and this is covering one of the flanks of their main defensive positions. So they've just got this basic little runner trench leading to an MG position on a tripod. They got a Pack 40 sitting up there looking over the trench. Of course, they got the radios so they can radio back to the main line of defense in case anything happens, like a Russian attack. All sorts of ammo here, ammo carrier, resupply trench right there. And yeah, so that's kind of the whole idea here is this defensive trench is being overrun by Russian troops, and there's not a lot of Germans. There's only one, and that's because he stayed back so his boys could fall back to the main defensive line and hold off the charging force as long as possible. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So he'll be kneeling down behind the Pat gun with his rifle with a bayonet. He'll be in the midst of shooting this guy who's, these aren't their final positions. This is just kind of where I put him for the video, but that's kind of the idea of where I'm wanting him. This guy to be leaning back a little more. Yeah, this guy's getting hit. You got these three guys in the back running up. That guy in the back is gonna have a grenade in his hand. Show you guys, give you a better look. The rifle does not completely fit in his hands, so I'm gonna put a hand grenade in his right hand while he's about to throw it into the trench. You got the dinner plate gunner. Got the scout car over here with the base color and the first party sponge chipping going on. Then you got the NCO MG position. Nothing's finalized there, obviously. I repainted. So I'm actually reusing a lot of stuff, like the Pack 40 here, the ammo carrying box, the table, all those weapons right there are being reused and repurposed from older dioramas. And if you remember, I had the defensive con from the Hitler Youth, the 12th SS Hitler Youth diorama a while back, and I used this Pack 40, but I never actually painted it. I left it the Tamiya plastic because it was already gray, and I just hand painted the wheels here. But I went ahead, prime painted, and I'm really glad I did. This is a Kursk camo, basically just tan with green big blobs on it. I do plan on adding some foliage around the diorama, like some green foliage to give the idea of bushes and whatnot. But yeah, I tried to sand down the barrel as much as I could. Here you can kind of see it's, on this side you can see it's kind of raised, but I couldn't really do anything about that because, like I said, I built this, God, probably like nine months ago maybe. It's been a while, and I was kind of rushing at that time, didn't want to take my time with it. I just wanted it to be finished. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea of where the diorama's at right now. That's all we've got going for it. More to come next week. Hopefully it'll be done by next week's update, and I'll have a video posted on that. All right, to move on towards game footage. Now, my channel, I normally do diorama updates, things like that, but there's this recent video which I will be posting at the end of this video. Will be the suggested video at the end of this update. But it's Gunship sequel World War II VR. It's a game I've posted about in the past. You may or may not have seen it, but I think I'm going to start posting maybe once a month of some gameplay of that. I've got some footage I still want to make into a compilation video like this. So the one I just posted today It's about a P-51D squadron versus a German bomber escort. So it's HE-111s with a Bf-109G fighter pilot support. And basically the whole video is showcasing, it's a montage of engaging both the bombers and fighters, landing, and all that stuff. So, but if you'd like, go check that out. It'll be at the very end of the video if you want a quick link. And yeah, so let's go on to the Sicily diorama. All right, so keeping to my word, I haven't done much. And basically, the only thing really significant that I've done is I did a little bit of his tunic, some touch-ups, a little bit on pants. I did his pants on this uniform because I had only done the blouse in the beginning. And then I started the base color for, well, that's not even Kursk, or this is a Kursk helmet from the German there. The German's helmet on the ground there is actually up here. The other Germans, the two walking here, they don't come with helmets because they're prisoners of war, so I'll probably get some. I have a spare box, little section. I'll just throw some spare helmets down with some rifles in a corner or something. But yeah, nothing really, besides that, nothing else has really happened. For the Sicily diorama, I've just been focusing on the family, work, and when I am out here, I'm doing either the Kursk diorama, or I'm just looking through my boxes because that's really fun to do. It's just pull a box out and look through this room. But yeah, so the last thing on the list is to talk about the podcast group. So if you probably already know, because I mention it like every other video, I'm in a podcast group, and we typically talk about tanks. We're called the Micro Machines Podcast. Well, gentlemen, all you aircraft fans out there, I have a treat for you. Our last episode we recorded was over the Corsair. So this slideshow is one I made. We were going to do the Archer versus Stug discussion with some guest speakers, but turns out we got some dates mixed up and whatnot. So last minute we were thinking about what to do. And I threw out the idea that maybe we should start doing aircraft, and everyone loved the idea. So being as the Corsair is my favorite aircraft of like all time, right next to the P-51D, I went and made a slideshow for it. So basically, to give you an idea of what our podcast consists of, some silly ass opening screen, general specifics based off of a certain aircraft or tank. I talk about the development a little bit, about the engine, propeller, landing gear, and performance. Some history and background of the actual aircraft used during combat. The war record for World War II, and then some of the other nations it served with. Then the legacy of the Corsair after World War II. Model kits based off the Corsair. Models that the members of the podcast group have made. You got mine up there, Callum's and Ezra's. Ezra did his like 4 years ago. Callum did his, I think, within the last year, and I did mine pretty recent. GUNSHIP sequel VR. Took some screenshots of the Corsair in that game. It's super fun plane to fly in. Then we do this thing called a hill to die on, where someone comes on with a really bad take, and we kind of crucify them for it. So this week's was Dennis's turn, and he said that Russian tanks look better than NATO tanks, but NATO tanks are better because they perform better, right? So for instance, like a Russian T-90 looks better than like a British Challenger 2. But the British Challenger 2 will outperform the T-90, right? And then we do go in discussion about that. But yeah, and then after that we do like a weekly work in progress, where we showcase something that we've been working on. So Jack's been working on a Stuart tank. Dennis has been working on a Horizon Island T-55, which is a make-believe island based off of Arma 3 video game that we both really enjoy. Well, a few members of the podcast really enjoy the game, so we're kind of starting a little model kit area of it. This is the first one, T-55. When I know more about it, just hop on the podcast. Then my Kursk diorama at that time when it recorded. And then we do a discussion at the end, and our discussion this week was what makes or breaks a model. Like, if you're going to the store and you want to buy a model kit, what will make or break you to buy a model kit? Like, for instance, like tracks, the type of screws, how well it's going, you know, all these little things, and we go into depth about it. These episodes are mixed with a bunch of jokes and all sorts of other stuff. I know we're kind of a younger group of modelers, and that kind of turns off a lot of the older people, which is fine, no worries at all. But if you're interested, these episodes are anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think our longest one was... we also have Spotify. Spotify is where we get the most views. We don't get too many on YouTube, but let's see. Like, we did the King Tiger the week before last, which was a really good discussion. We did the, let's see, where is it at? The E-Series tanks, the Ram airborne tanks, the Shillelagh missile, all sorts of stuff, right? So if you're interested in this, let me know. I can, or go look us up on YouTube, Micro Machines Podcast. You'll be able to see the slides, but if you don't really care for the slides, then look us up on Spotify or anything else like that. And in accordance to the podcast group, we also have a Discord where it's kind of our community hub. So basically, Discord, I have a video up on my channel that talks about how to actually get a Discord. That's on the, I believe it's the, here, let me see real quick. I know I did one. I think it was on my announcement for the group build I did. So if you go into my channel and you scroll down to, the artillery group build, the MMP artillery group build. If you go on to here, the beginning part of this video showcases how to actually get a Discord. And it requires an updated link. So if you want to join, you have to comment on one of my videos and be like, hey, can I get a link to the Discord? We're always wanting people to join. It's a big community to help. We've got 43 people so far, and it's all sorts of stuff. Man, we got general topics, talk about, we have an introduction section. So if you join, introduce yourself, all sorts of stuff like that. Got a general chat, people just talk about random things. We post aircraft, all sorts of armor stuff. We have really good, you can post your Instagram link in here. And then in the whole model talk section, we have all that stuff. Like, we have a finished build section, work in progress. We have reference photos, industry stuff, 3D printing, all sorts of really neat things. And then we have like these voice chats. So if you want to come on and be like, hey, is anyone going to be on, later on, let me know. And to actually show that, let's see, it should be in model talk and hangout coordination. So one of our buddies, Kovacs, asked if anyone's going to be on in an hour or two. I said, I will. I'll be making YouTube videos, but after that, I'll be on. So it's really nice. And we got the podcast planning stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so Discord is really fun. Someone's always active on it, so you're never not going to get a reply within an hour. But yeah, so that's basically the video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Once again, if you would like a link to the Discord, comment down below. I'll happily send it to you. If you do check out the podcast, please let us know what you think. Feedback is always welcome. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. I'll catch y'all later.